Welcome into our Football Friday night preview special. We're doing it because, can you believe it, the madness begins next week, so we don't have a moment more to waste in getting you ready for kickoff. So let's start things off big with a reigning state champion, the Greenwood Bulldogs. Now, the Bulldogs went back-to-back in December after taking down Shiloh Christian in the 6A state title game. Even though that was the program's 12th state title, it meant a lot more because of who Greenwood was playing for. Wide receiver Isaiah Arrington, who passed away during the postseason. Continuing to keep Arrington in their hearts, the Bulldogs are going for the three-peat this season, with quarterback Kane Archer back for his senior year. Head coach Chris Young says with a younger team, having Archer back in a key role, well, it helps out a lot.
He has, he's been 3 years in our program. This will be his 4th year. He played as a 9th grader. And so, he's on next level. He's understanding what we're doing offensively, and it allows us to do some other things and give us an advantage.
They play Bentonville West week 1. All right, moving on to Mansfield. They're looking to build off a successful season that ended earlier than expected in the semifinals. A perfect 7-0 in conference play and a strong defense gave the Tigers the strength they needed to be successful in 2024. Now, in 2025, the Tigers have plenty of returners in the key positions, including bringing back all the starting offensive line. But the area of youth will be in the skill positions. But there is still that bad taste in their mouths from last season, and with 13 seniors suiting up, they are hungry to get over the hump and book a ticket down to Little Rock in December.
I think our guys are hungry. We didn't end the season the way we wanted to. We wanted to be in Little Rock, and we didn't achieve that goal. And so these guys have worked tremendously hard. These group of seniors, it's a big class for us. We're just super excited about the season coming up. We appreciate all our people in the community that come out and support us, and our Tiger fans, and looking for another big year for these guys.
The Tigers get Bismarck to start things off. Well, over in Charleston, those Tigers just a few years removed from winning a state title. That was back in 2022. However, they haven't been back to the mountaintop since, but believe that will change this year. You may not think so looking at their 7-5 record last season, but coming back from that are a lot of motivated seniors, including quarterback Carter Little and receiver safety Emiliano Gone. Now, as is the case every year, the Tiger faithful have big expectations for their squad, but with the abundance of seniors, those expectations are larger than ever. Though the path to the pinnacle may be more difficult than ever, with two powerhouses lurking in the conference in Boonville and Mansfield. But they know they can't go around. They got to go through.
Good thing about Charleston is it's, we've had a great storied past where, people expect to win, and, we expect no different from these guys. Obviously, we want to try to win our conference and then go as deep in the playoffs as we can, maybe end up in War Memorial.
Charleston lines up against Pottsville in 2 weeks. And you know what? Who better to follow the Tigers than their rivals, the 2023 3A state champion, Boonville Bearcats, who look to reclaim the crown after falling short of defending it last year, losing in the quarterfinals. However, this year they are back and ready to bring a reckoning with them to the field in the form of 18 seniors, most of which are 2 or 3 year starters already. That includes the entire offensive line coming back from 2024. Now, they did lose QB Jace Washburn, but they have another guy ready to go in senior Rhett Neidert. However, if you know Boonville football, you know they like to run the rock, and they'll be doing it with a trio of returning fullbacks. All that adding up to high expectations, but if any team can do it, it's this one.
I expect a really, really fun year. This team, and we've kind of been saying it all year long, the team chemistry that these guys have and these coaches have is, I think it's unmatched. I haven't been a part of anything like this since I've been coaching, and I really, really love this team, and I think that's just a testament to our seniors and the leadership they provide.
Boonville opens up on the road against Poda. Now jumping up to a higher division. Now let's continue with a legend and his team. Tommy Tice is back for year 2 at Farmington after a very successful first one, finishing as the 5A state runner-ups. However, they are in a tremendous spot to erase that runner-up tag this season, as Coach Tice not only has a full year under his belt, but also has 31 seniors to work with, including 10 out of the 11 starters on defense coming back. So the Cards have a Hall of Fame coach, motivation, and depth. But all that also means they have high expectations, and none may have higher ones than the man in charge himself.
Kids are more familiar with me. They know what I expect and things like that, and what our coaching staff expects. We're all comfort level is greater. Our expectations are real high. Men don't rise to low expectations. Set that bar high. To tell them set goals, write it down, put it on their mirror in their bathroom where they can see it every morning, and expect to get it done.
The Cards getting Harbor in 2 weeks. Now, someone else who had a great season last year was Gravit. In fact, it was their best one since 2011. Now, the Lions are ready to build on last year's success and make a run in the 4A playoffs this year. Now, this isn't a retirement community type of team, just 7 seniors taking up residence on the roster. But to quote Indiana Jones, it's not the years, it's the mileage, and this team got plenty of winning experience last year. The Lions roared to a 9-2 record with 1 loss coming in a heartbreaking first-round playoff exit. The Perps of the other L, the Elkins Elks, the antlered kings of the 4A1 jungle the last 3 years. However, this Lion pride comes before the fall, determined to prove they are the main threat the conference should fear.
There's a lot to be proud of in the last year, but our football team is still really hungry and frankly just unsatisfied with the way last year ended. You know, they're really driven. They're really striving to win that conference title, and while we know Elkins sits at top, you know, Coach Watson does a phenomenal job there. You know, we lost a heartbreaker there, and the kids haven't forgot that. And like I said, they're a resilient group and ready to bounce back and just continue to build off of last year's momentum.
Gravit getting their rivals Pea Ridge to start out their season. Well, out in the Hillbilly Hills, for the first time in 14 years, when the Friday night lights turn back on, the Ozark Hillbillies will have a new man in charge, and his name is Josh Watson. And those shoes to fill, they're about a size 14, as his predecessor, Jeremy Burns, helms the Hillbillies since 2011. But now it's Watson's team, and he's looking to improve on a 2024 campaign in which they went 4-7 overall and 2-5 in the 4A4. Luckily, Ozark has more foundation than Ulta this year, as their junior QB, Cade Cap, comes back and will be protected by a veteran group up front, as all 5 of the Hillbillies O-linemen have plenty of experience, with 3 being full-time starters last season. Watson also expects big numbers from his 2 running backs because of that experienced offensive line, and while he is the new coach, he believes his team is ready to go as they get more and more familiar with his coaching style.
Just repetition. Repetition, the more we do it, the more they have become comfortable with it. You know, it's night and day different from where we were at spring ball to where we were at the first team camp to now. From the first team camp to now, it's an incredible difference where we're at offensively, defensively, the understanding of the scheme, and just the understanding of what the expectations are. There's a big difference, and the kids have really balled in.
And Ozark opening up on the road at Clarksville. And staying with the theme of new coaches, the Pea Ridge Blackhawks are gearing up for their 2025 season with a new old coach in Tony Travis. And they're hoping the glory days return with him, as Travis's run as the main man from 2009 to 2015 in Pea Ridge saw the team soaring high with quite a dominant run. However, Coach Travis pulls back up to the job site with some work to do, as his team is coming off a 1-9 season. But don't bury the Blackhawks just yet. Their quarterback, Hudson White, is back in black after starting 7 games last year. And joining him in the backfield is one bad man, Tristan German, who broke the school's single-game rushing record last season with 206. Oh, and he also holds it down on the other side of the ball as a linebacker. So all the ingredients are there. They just need to get out there and cook. But no matter what happens, Coach Travis is excited to be back on the battlefield.
It's awesome to be back out here on the field with the staff and the guys. Pea Ridge gave me my first coaching job. A lot of great memories from that coaching job. I knew a lot of the coaches on the staff already. I've hired a few of them as athletic director. So there was some familiarity there. Knew most of the players. When this job came back open, I knew if I was going to get back in, this is really where I wanted to be.
Pea Ridge gets a rivalry game to start, as mentioned, against Gravit. Well, that's going to do it for the first batch of Football Friday night previews, but don't worry, we'll have more coming your way all next week in our 6 and 10 newscast, leading you right up, and I do mean right up to kickoff and our first FFN show of the season. Hope to see you there.